Growing up, I always heard about the BTK killer, but I never really knew who he was until I started researching him and studying him in school. After that, I always wondered what drove a killer to kill and the psychological part of a killer. I know all of you have heard or even seen someone be killed because it's 2018 and it's all over the internet. I know it's somewhat of a scary topic for some of you, but I hope today I can teach you guys of what a childhood of a killer looks like and what's inside their mind. First, the research of a killer, that 32% of them have never even been abused when they're younger. But a study by Dr. Helen Morrison, a killer feels out of place in the world because of neglect or abuse. And because they feel out of place in the world, it makes them grow up to have no sympathy for their victims. Now that you know some of what's in the brain of a killer, let's talk about more of what's in there. The orbital cortex is a part of the brain that deals with rage, sex, and violence. Study says that most killers have low activity in this part of the brain, which makes them more of a sociopath. Killers also have a high serotonin level in their brain, and serotonin is what affects the mood of a killer. Jim Fallon, a researcher, always thought that inside of a killer's brain that you were born a killer. But after he has studied some more, now he thinks that it was all about how you were raised. The background of a killer is mostly child abuse, neglect, and maybe like their parents got divorced or they were just bullied at school. In 1927, a man named Andrew Kane murdered his wife and 43 other people, including himself. He used a bomb to kill his wife and 43 other people, which most of them were children. In his young life, he had a stable life. His parents loved him, and it never really showed signs of neglect or anything like that. But growing up, he had a really bad financial study, and that's what really drove him to kill all these people. When he killed all these people, he wrote on a plank outside of his house that killers are made and not born. This drove Dr. Knoll to do a study over the psychological part of the brain of a killer. He mostly studied Mark Barton, a man that killed 9 people and himself. Looking into Mark's life, his childhood was very hard for him. He was neglected and abused a lot. Growing up, he got a job at an office, and in that job, he was really bullied a lot, and he really didn't like the people there. And he said that he wanted to get back at the people that made his life hard and everything like that. Now that it's still not very obvious why people kill, but it seems like they were not born a killer, they were made into one. I hope that with the information on what a killer's childhood looks like and what's inside their mind, you've learned that everyone is not born a killer. So be nice to everyone, because you never know what they will do. Thank you.